I'm Steve Cotton, I'm the General Secretary of the International Transport Workers, and we're 18.5 million transport workers, and I'm immensely proud to be here for the first time in Uganda. Two things we've learned this week. First is our affiliate here at Tikru is a very powerful progressive union. We have the opportunity to meet many of their members, including a number of associations dealing with taxi drivers, migrant workers, fishers, railway workers, and of course their historical members that they service. They have been fighting to deal with the formal challenges for formal transport workers, but also the informal challenges. We had the opportunity to meet the government, the Labour Director, where we talked about what is tripartism and what we need to do to protect Ugandan workers, men and women and young workers. And then we also had a very wide meeting of the ITF's African Steering Group, where we talked about what is our strategies to organise African transport workers. What do we need to do to be more powerful? How do we build power? And we fundamentally recognise that we need to organise workers in the workplace bottom up, but we also have to have very smart policies when it comes to new challenges about formalising the informal workers, recognising global supply chains and all the challenges we face. So we've had an immensely satisfying and successful visit to Uganda, and I'm very confident that we'll be back and continue to give power to Ugandan men and women that make up the fantastic transport professionals that exist here. So the ITF's message is stay strong, keep fighting and protect your rights. I think there's one message to the government, that it's critical that they bring the union professionals in early. If we're building infrastructure, if we're looking at safety on the roads, if we're looking at the challenges that Ugandan workers face, we want to be in at the beginning of the conversation. We want to help shape the solutions. Trade unions were built to represent their members, but they also know their members' protection depends on the resolutions. So the message to the government, keep involved in social dialogue, but the earlier you include us, the better the result. Send a very strong message to the delegates of the conference. We're really sorry that I can't be with you, but my colleague Alana Dave will be with you. She'll bring a strong message of solidarity. And I have to say, having just visited Uganda, what you're doing for informal workers, what you're doing for your members, the vision about how powerful you can be, the partnership between Steve and Wilson is critically important. And as I say, consolidate your power, have consistent leadership, and let's make sure you have a fantastic conference and make good policies and build more power.
You are here and you can see for yourself where your resources and time have been going. I hope you will not be disappointed. And on our part as the ministry, we promote social dialogue and are always available to engage on any issue concerning not only Latugu but all the workers in the country. There are challenges, but the important thing is that we sit and discuss. That is the critical thing which, together with the Latugu and other unions, we have been able to develop. And that's why when we were informed that you will be coming, it was agreed that we meet you. Unfortunately, the PS, Permanent Secretary, would have met you today, had some other engagement. That's why he asked me to meet you together with my colleague. Apolonzoma is the Assistant Commissioner in charge of Industrial Relations. He's our point man with the union. He takes all the heat. I deal with the heat after Nzoma has cooled it.
That deals with representation and all the other issues. So it's a very interesting moment, and I think unions are constantly re-evaluating themselves about relevance, and these issues are too significant to not take the debate. But it's also very important that we have a relationship with Labour ministries,
transport departments. And I think it doesn't matter whether we're in the global south, Uganda, or the global north, or London, making sure the unions are part of the conversation when you're thinking of strategic change or significant infrastructure investment. I think that's important to all of us. That mutual respect, formal or informal, doesn't really always make the biggest difference, but the reality is the workers need to know this is their representation. The employers, nationally and internationally, there's a relationship in Uganda that could go global, and I think that's why the ITF has a very strong reputation, that we're always there for our affiliates. So
take our assurance that we're always available to engage and also support the social partners in their efforts to improve the welfare of workers and the general conditions generally. And we are therefore very pleased that you considered meeting with us important. We'll be glad to receive some of the guidelines that you have developed in Europe on organizing workers in non-standard employment like the ones of Uber that we have seen, so that such information is evaluated for purposes of informing policy and legislation here in Uganda. Because not only the unions will have to adopt, but our policies and laws will also have to adopt to the new changes in the world of work. So we thank you very much for this initiative.
So, Director, first of all, I want to thank our brother Stephen Cotton. This is his first time in Uganda and is the first ITF president to come to Uganda, and that is very, very important. So it's very key that after all our engagement, it was very, very important for him to come and interact with the ministry. And I'm very happy that you have interacted with the right person who actually is in the kitchen of the labor engagement. I want to thank Director, Brother Steve Martin Wandera, for supporting the workers, because all these achievements in our NSSF Act now, they are many. Our workers can now get 20%, and that is one of its kind in the whole world. So Uganda was the first country, and I think the last time we went to Geneva with him, everybody in that conference wanted to interact with Uganda. How did you do it? Because it's the first country in the world to come out with that kind of model. We are now also struggling to see that the private security, we find how we can discuss with the NSSF, because these are people who are paid lowly. It's very low pay. Now what we want is to supplement it with the health insurance, whereby we can see how they can be getting treatment through NSSF and so on. But that one is still under discussion. I know is our supporter, and we will come up with a very good program. So basically, when we are struggling as Amalgamated Transport and General Workers Union, and even at Noto level, he has been standing with the workers, and I want to appreciate him. It's rare in many countries where you find government work closely with workers. Sometimes we agree to disagree, But in most cases, there are so many things that we are pursuing. The basic laws. Right now, we are trying to see how we can bring in, as the article is bringing in formal sector, how do we bring in laws that will help them? Because most of the laws does not favor the informal. But we need now to have a conversation with the ministry to see how we can bring this together. But I want to also welcome you to Uganda, and I want to tell the ministry that for us, you remember we had issues with the taxes. Where you wrote a letter to His Excellency, and today, the Director, I want to inform you that all the taxes have now formed one federation. They are now united under one umbrella.
The taxis?
Yes.
Coming in?
Yes.
I'm Stephen, General Secretary of Amalgamated Transport and Train Workers Union. I'm also the Vice Chairperson of ITF Africa Regional Steering Committee and Executive Board Member of ITF. We have hosted Africa Regional Committee meeting in Uganda. And this committee meeting is a meeting which is normally held twice in a year. And this time Uganda was chosen for the meeting to be the country for which the meeting is going to be. And this meeting is aimed at making plans for ITF, Africa Region, to come up with a strategic plan to help organize and build union power in Africa. And we had people from various countries, from Nigeria, from Liberia, Mozambique, Kenya, Tanzania, and other countries. And what we have achieved, we have made very important resolutions during this meeting, and these resolutions are going to be used in the Congress, which is going to be in February next year. And one of the most important things is regional representation. We are going to have regional representatives from East Africa, Central Africa, Southern Africa, and West Africa. These are the people who are going to form the leadership of ITF Regional Steering Committee, and this committee will be the one governing ITF operations in Africa. And this meeting was very successful. We want to thank the Director of Labour, whom we met this morning. I was very happy and very positive about this meeting that has taken place in Uganda. And we started the meeting yesterday, and the delegates are going back. Others will be leaving today, and some will be leaving today. So I want to thank the government of Uganda for giving us a very good environment and for providing security for all these delegates and their safety during this time.
All the best.
Thank you for everything.
Okay.
Keep up the good work and the cooperation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.